electric cars are pretty awesome. They can bring you places, as long as it's not quite too far away. Um, and they can bring stuff places if you have a big boot, like this one. The only problem is that if you want to bring more stuff, then essentially what you have to do is drive more times. And I think it is somebody called Albert Tobar, at least I assume that's his name, who invented in 1524 this device called a tow bar, named after him, obviously, that you can put on your car and then pull like a little cart thingy with two wheels. It's really quaint. And you can put more stuff on it, like you have a bigger boot. And it's pretty awesome, and most cars can get tow bars, except for electric cars. You see, with a few exceptions like the Tesla Model X, which nobody can afford, electric cars don't have tow bars. Even though, like the Nissan Leaf, I am intimately familiar with this car. The Nissan Leaf shares most of its rear end, at least the structural parts, with the Nissan Juke. And the Nissan Juke is certified by Nissan to tow up to 1,250 kilograms. In some markets even more. So why not like use the same mounting holes to put a tow bar on the Nissan Leaf? Well, apparently Nissan said no. This is a problem that has been going on basically since the inception of this car. People have been complaining about it not having a tow bar option, and Nissan has just flat out said, yeah, we're never going to add a tow bar option to this car. And I guess the reason for this is twofold. One, it costs them money. They already made the car. They're not going to bother. And the second is probably they're worried that people are either going to overheat the battery or going to have so much less range with the tow bar that, like, obviously with the tow bar and something towing behind it, that the tow bar is pretty much useless. But it's not. With the extender battery, the Nissan Leaf has like a pretty decent range. It's very similar to other electric cars you can buy new today that are based on platforms with tow bars. But even cars like the Hyundai Kona don't have a tow bar option, which is just ridiculous. It's like a 64 kilowatt hour battery. It's actively cool. Why not put a tow bar in there? Anyway, all of this is to say that I bought a tow bar and I'm gonna put it on the Leaf. So, yeah. So in order to install the tow bar, I invited my friend over and asked him to help me. Well, actually, I asked him to help me with something else, but he felt more like installing the tow bar than doing the other project. Anyway, installing the tow bar for some reason involves taking off not just the little under tray thing, but also the entire bumper. It's not completely clear why, because the tow bar doesn't protrude through the bumper. I think you can do this without removing the bumper, actually. And the bumper removal is kind of a pain. There's a marker light and two bulbs for the license plate. And all of those connectors are just really annoying to remove. So with everything off, the next step is to ask somebody else at the hackerspace where we were for their tow bar. They are pretty much identical. Like, you can see that the locking mechanism, it protrudes a little bit more on his tow bar, but that is because the locking peg that it slots into is also a little bit further away. So really, it seems like these are identically constructed. See, what I was worried about is that they put in a brake pin, so that's like a bolt with weakened points, that when you start towing instead of carrying something, that would break. Or otherwise, some other kind of ingenious mechanism that prevents towing but does allow for putting on a bike rack. But like, obviously, there's just nothing there. The only difference between these two tow bars, as far as the connection system goes, is the little nubs on the tow bar. So, off with them. the tow bar installs on the same holes that the towing hook or the towing eye is installed on, which is very interesting because that towing hook is technically rated for more than 2 tons of towing on just one frame part. So I wonder, why wouldn't you be able to tow like 4 tons with this car? Obviously you can. But of course, that's just one side that installs like that. The other side has to be drilled out. And this is a very annoying process that involves lots of looking very... I guess I have a very mad look in my eyes when I do stuff. Adjusting my clothes is also very important in this process. And exposing myself. Yeah, you also need to actually cut out a piece of the under tray plastic, which was a very interesting process that it involved my friend almost killing me. Thank you. And well, here it is. It is on. Clearly a tow bar that cannot tow because of the sticker. Well, I'm in a different place and the tow bar is installed. And of course now you want to know, does it actually work? Does it tow? As you could see in the video before, we compared it to another tow bar that actually works. It's basically the same brand, same system, and it is almost indistinguishable as it locks. So we're pretty sure this is just a regular tow bar, just with a little sticker that says you cannot tow. So we decided to do a test. So yeah, here we go, testing whether the tow bar works with an actual thing to tow. So of course, even though those weren't like full tests, the car was empty. So it's not a full test, but it is pretty clear that this tow bar is just a tow bar like any other tow bar. It just has the little nubs on it and a sticker that says you cannot tow. And as far as I can tell, like in every way, it is identical to tow bars that tow like 3.5 tons. So I'm just going to say it here. This tow bar can tow. Just grind off the nubs. Here is the part number. Install this on your Leaf and you can just tow. There's like nothing keeping you from doing this, except for pretty stupid rules. Alright, hope you enjoyed.